So many of us have a dream of living debt and mortgage free, but in order to make that a reality, it sometimes requires some really out-of-the-box thinking. And that is exactly what this next couple have done by building an incredible home out of shipping containers. Hi Jamie, how's it going?
Good.
Lovely to meet you. G'day
Nice to
Dave.
meet you. Hey, how
how's
you
it going,
doing?
mate? This container home is just so cool. What was it that inspired you to build a shipping container home?
We want to be mortgage free.
And Dave has always been in metalwork, and so we thought, how hard is it to stick a couple containers together? It's like Legos, right? Right.
And you did this whole project as a DIY build, didn't you?
Yes, the plumbing, the electrical, all the substructure, welding, there's so many things.
It's completely permitted. So we went through all the steps with our county to get it to have an occupancy permit at the end of it. That was our goal, is to do it completely on the grid.
And was the county on board with that?
Completely. They totally helped us out. We were like the first ones to do this crazy new kind of a home in their county, and they were like, gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
So they made it happen for us like in record time.
You mentioned before that a big part of doing this project was the desire to be mortgage free. Can you tell me where you were before starting this home?
Daily grind. I
Yes.
mean, you're stuck in that rut with everybody else, you know? I know we can do something different. I think we can make this happen. What do you think? Let's go down this path. Let's just try it out.
Yeah, we were living in a condo in Kalama after we remodeled the house in Vancouver. So it gave us a little nest egg to start our project. We were able to purchase the land, and we had a nest egg, about $50,000 to start our build. What we didn't realize is to turn on the water is $10,000, to turn on the electricity is $9,000, to put in a septic is $12,000, and to purchase our containers. And we were almost out of money before we started, but you can't get a conventional loan on these kind of builds. And so we just went to work every day, and we worked on this project Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every day for 10 months, and we just worked hard, and it's paid off.
Yeah, we've been
And
blessed
we
with
made it up here mortgage free.
having enough money to do it all.
Well, congratulations on that, because this really is such a tremendous accomplishment.
Thank you.
Now, before we talk too much about the container, I also want to talk about your property. This is just beautiful.
It was a lot of work.
A friend told us when we first purchased the property and he drove in and he stood at the top of it, he said, someday this is going to be your own private Garden of Eden. And it really has evolved that way. We love it. You don't have to go anywhere when this is your home.
And you can walk out your front door and boom, there's our garden, right?
Yeah.
And then the container house, what size is this?
There's a 40-footer on the bottom and a 20-footer on the top.
So it's 406 finished square feet, but it fits everything that we need.
And I really like the design and what you've done here by stacking them one on top of the other and creating this incredible deck on the top.
Outdoor living space is so important when you're living tiny. It really has made it more sustainable for us. Like Dave likes to tease, sometimes you have to go outside just to change your mind. And so
Yeah.
that there are times when that is the truth. So it is nice. That's one reason, we've had this passion to grow out the property and landscape it so that it was an enjoyable place, not only in the house, but outside the house too.
And so what was the process of building this home together like?
We did it overcoming a lot of obstacles and challenges. We got our containers delivered, we cut out all the windows, we got them craned in onto our foundation, and we were in the process of finishing out our structural welding, our railing. And about midway through that process, Dave had a major brain bleed. It was called an intracranial hemorrhage. It was spontaneous. There was no known underlying effect. Dave called me and said, something is wrong, I can't feel my arm. And so I instantly came driving home. And when I got here, he was about halfway up the driveway. And as soon as I pulled up, I could tell by the way his face was that he'd had a stroke or a seizure or something. And I walk up to him and I'm gonna cry. He falls into my arms and he said, I was waiting for you before I went to sleep. And the doctor said if he'd gone to sleep, we wouldn't have this recovery because his brain would have shut down, and the way his bleed was, he wouldn't have survived it. And we had our fifth wheel here at the time. It would have been very easy for him to
I was
just
like, man, I
lay
just need
down and go to
lay
sleep.
down for a little bit, I'll be fine.
But it was funny, he's laying in the hospital bed, right before they life flighted him for surgery, and he whispered, barely, but he whispered, "I don't have time for this. We're building a house."
Right.
And I just
didn't have
kept
time
thinking,
for that.
it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And so the prognosis was very, very poor, the kind of bleed he'd had and where it was at in his brain. It was so poor that they didn't even want to do surgery because it was so deep. They were afraid of the more damage that they would do. So it was a watch and wait kind of thing. I did not leave his room or his side for 5 days. I mean, I took care of him. I slept in the ICU bed with him. This was my best friend, and this was not the way that our story was supposed to go. By the end of the first week having him home, I had him into 5 different therapy appointments, and we worked around the clock for 3 months to reestablish his speech, his
And
feeling, physical
aspects
therapy.
of it, yeah.
His therapist actually used our deck and the stairs as part of his therapy to learn the cognitive problem-solving part again, the dexterity with his fingers,
Yeah.
the feeling and sensation with the screws and the drill. So it was scary for me to watch him using power tools when he
It
couldn't.
was almost therapeutic.
It
in a
was.
way.
And it gave him a purpose and a reason to get out of bed every day and a reason to get up off the couch. And so
Right, and
it slowed us down, but
It
oh my
did,
goodness,
but
it made
we
us so
still
strong.
managed to finish it off in
We did.
10 months.
We did. We finished the project still in 10 months and stronger and more appreciative of every single minute. And it helped us to understand that you have to find joy in the small things. Joy is not ever present. You choose to be joyful in the midst of the turmoil.
That really is such an incredible story. I'm so happy to see that you've recovered so well, and that I can really understand that that must have been horrendously scary for you. What I love about that story is that this house got to be part of your recovery story as well.
Yeah, especially right after that stroke, that helped me regain all those nerves inside that tells me, the connections that your brain makes to your body.
Yes.
So it helped tremendously.
Congratulations, that is a tremendous accomplishment.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, you've done such a great job with this home. I really love the unique look of it from the exterior, and I'm very excited to see what you've done inside. Can we take a look?
Let's take a look.
Come on, welcome to our home.
Thank you very much. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the style of your home.
Thank you. It's really just our own style, a little bit of everything that makes up who we are. Pictures of our kids, and Dave likes to get me succulents as a little gift, and so I love them. They're small, they work in our space. My grandmother loved owls, and that's something I've held on to for forever, and so it's just us.
The floor is definitely a feature. I really like this.
Thank you. This was a rough one for me. We bought the floor thinking that it would contrast really well with our hickory cabinets. And when we initially put it in, there was nothing else in the space, and I cried.
She literally cried about it. She's like, "This is the ugliest floor ever."
So
Really? You didn't
horrible.
like
it? It was
I
like,
didn't
this is
like
the
it at
worst. I
all.
can't
I was
believe you
so
did this.
disappointed. But it has grown on me, and so I love it. And we live in the woods, and we live with rock, and it really has held up pretty well.
And tell me about the design of your lounge.
I know that a lot of tiny homes have built-ins, which are awesome for the storage, but I really wanted a more contemporary look in our home. And so we went to a lot of furniture stores with a tape measure looking for one that would fit our tiny space and make all the tolerances between, in the door, into the kitchen. And so we found it. We love it. It's a nice place to curl up in the fall and the winter with our fireplace and enjoy some time together.
And then your kitchen is really lovely. It's actually very big for a small house, isn't it?
It is. I personally don't like to do a lot of cooking, but I wanted to be able to have the space. And so this is our dining room area, and we actually can feed and seat 6 people in here. It's cozy, but we can have all the kids over for dinner. And it is a long galley-sized kitchen, but we have full-size appliances all the way through. And a dishwasher. We really don't lack for anything that we didn't have in our typical size house.
And then these granite countertops, they're a definite touch of luxury, aren't they?
They are. We did learn through the process that when you do things on a smaller scale, you can go with higher end finishes because you only have to buy them in a small quantity.
Yeah.
And so we did, very nice cabinets, countertops, and stainless steel appliances.
And then that's your bathroom through there, is it?
It is.
Can we have a look at that?
All right.
Absolutely. So when we were taking inventory of the things that were important to us, we knew that a big bathroom where we had room to be in here together, to turn around, to get dressed, to have some clothes storage, was really important to us. We went with the pedestal sink so it wasn't wall to wall to wall cabinetry. Yeah, and the shower, actually, Dave built that, and it was also part of his recovery from his stroke. So
all the towel work.
it was a long, slow process, but he did a good job. And then these are kitchen cabinets that we just stacked on top of each other, and this is Dave's closet, and yeah, we have tons of storage in here. So everything's working just like a home.
Yeah.
And then what's through the back door here?
So into the closet here, for code, we had to have a closet for our single bedroom. And so this is closet on our blueprint. Now it really is a closet. So nice. We have our pantry. I've been doing a lot of canning, but also my space. Prior to that,
You notice her closet is a little bit bigger than mine. Did you guys notice that?
prior to
Just a
this,
little bit.
this was where our son lived, our youngest, when we first moved in. So we had room for a twin size bed, a dresser, a TV. But since now he's a full size man, then we've moved him up into the shop. But this was plenty of room for him. So, you know, it was like a 2-bedroom house and it worked good. But now it's nice to have the extra space. You can kind of declutter the rest of the areas because it can all be organized in here.
And then can we take a look at the upstairs?
Absolutely.
All right.
Now, this spiral staircase, that is quite a feature, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty steep, but it tucks back into this space so perfectly. You know, we had some storage underneath of it we weren't expecting. It was, yeah, an
didn't
extra
factor
cool
that
thing.
Well, let's check out the next container on top.
All right.
This is really cool. Being high up as well, you have such a beautiful perspective of the forest from this room, don't you?
We do. We actually put the bird feeders right out the window here so you can see the birds in the morning.
Yeah, we definitely do feel like we are tucked in the woods right here. So again, when we were taking inventory of the things that were important to us, a bedroom that we could stand up in, that we could somewhat walk around in, was really important to us.
And this is a queen size bed up here?
Queen size bed. We did have some challenges. We couldn't find nightstands, so Dave built these for me. But we have a seasonal creek right outside our bedroom window, and so in the fall and the winter and the spring, we get to lay there and listen to the creek. And yeah, we love it up here.
And you've got a lovely area over here with the seat, and of course, there's the TV up here.
Yes, so I wanted a little space where I could read, where I could write a bit, and actually I don't use it that often because we spend so much time outside and doing other things, but it is nice to have the option here. The only time we watch TV is when we're laying in bed, but it's nice to be able to just zone out and do things like normal people in big houses do sometimes, and so we do enjoy that, you know, creature comforts, even though we're living tiny.
And then through here, we've got the deck. Can we take a look at that?
Yes. So when we were building our container and we wanted to put the 20-footer on top of our 40-footer, we didn't want to lose any of our available living space, so we built a deck out here off our master bedroom. And it is just a little piece of heaven out here, sitting up here, having morning coffee, having dinner in the evenings. We just love looking over our valley.
The view from up here is absolutely majestic.
Yes, it is. We feel very blessed.
How long have you been living in the home now?
Just about 3.5 years.
About 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And how are you finding the space has actually worked out for you?
I think it's been a learning process right from the beginning to where we're at right now. And I think it's been something that we would probably not change.
And it wasn't what we were expecting. Our vision was to just get up here mortgage-free. Building tiny seemed like the way to do that. And I think it's exceeded our expectations on a lot of levels. It's introduced us to a healthier lifestyle, a simpler lifestyle, you know, a lifestyle where we can have time and energy and resources to do other things that are really important to us. And so, yeah, I wouldn't go back and change anything either.
We're off the treadmill. We don't need more stuff. We got rid of all of our stuff to make this happen.
Yeah.
And we don't want it back.
So obviously a huge part of the reasoning behind why you did this project was to stay mortgage and debt free. So what was the final budget for this project?
I'd say total we have probably about 80.
Yeah, about $175 a square foot, us doing it all by ourselves.
I think 80,000 for a home like this is a pretty remarkable result. And obviously that is testament to you doing all of the work yourself. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And now that the home is complete, what's next for you both?
There's a couple things that I know I want to do, and it's kind of like I'm trying to convince her to do it too.
Go on, what is it?
I'd really like to build a suspension bridge from that deck to this deck. And the reason why is because I built that deck over there to have a counterbalance so I can hook onto that thing and be able to have that bridge accessed over here.
And then ideally, he'd like to build like a landing and zip line down to the bottom of the property. And
Why
because
not?
he's just a big kid
It's
at heart.
it's doable. Look at it. I can see how, because I've done a couple of zip lines already, and I know it could be done really easy.
Well, now that the work in the home is done, I guess this is time just to do the playful stuff, right?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We've done the hard work. Let's play a little bit.
I think what this has taught us about ourselves is that we can do things that are really, really hard, and that if we do them together, we can definitely accomplish it.
Yeah.
Separate, it's really hard. When he got so sick and I didn't know, there was no way I could finish this. But, you know, it's one reason we worked so hard together for him to get back to a healthy state, because we had goals. And so we know that life throws you curveballs, but just go with it. Find the joy in the moment. You know, adventure awaits around every corner. Choose joy. Live outside the box. Color outside the lines.
Definitely be positive.
Be positive. Be a little sassy.
Stay positive.
Be different. It's okay to be different.
And we are different. We're living in a shipping container.
Yes.
You know, and not too many people can say that. You know.
Yeah. But we have made this shipping container our home.
Yeah.
Well, this home really is just incredible. I love the style, I love the uniqueness of it, and I think you have both created a really special place here. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
it with me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Jamie and Dave had to move through some incredible challenges in order to make this build a reality, but they did. And the result is a home which is beautiful, artistic, unique, and which has really brought them both so much closer together. They set out with a goal to become mortgage free, and here they've accomplished that and so much more.